I gotta start doing my stretching before I click the go live button. Oh, hi guys. Welcome to the show. This is Monkey in the Morning. I'm Monk. Hope you guys are well. It's a day. I have no idea which one. I think we're on technically Tuesday for another 2 minutes. It doesn't matter anyway. I I I don't know what the days are. I don't really care most of the time. I just go where my wife tells me to when she tells me to. Who needs a calendar or a schedule or, to be a grown up? This is not starting out well. Actually, I'm in a very good mood today. I hope you guys are too. Little sore, ugh, but that's just normal. I got extra loves for my kitty cat. My wife pissed her off yesterday. Typically, when the cat needs her medicine, she gets a little topical solution on the back of her neck, and she hates it. And I'm usually the one to give it to her because I can deal with her being pissy with me. And yesterday, Lady Monkey did it all by herself, and the cat has been mad at her, so she's been extra lovey to me. And I think from now on, I'm gonna make my wife do it because I've been enjoying that. What's up, Nuts? How you doing, sweetheart? Plus, oh my god, my cat hates, absolutely hates cameras. And Lady Monkey loves taking pictures of the cat with Snapchat filters. And I have to show you this because it's just too cute, and we're getting up to Christmas time anyway. So, shit, I thought I already had this loaded. This is what happens when I start a show without actually, preparing because I was over fucking around on Twitter. Look at my baby. Oh, wait, you can't yet. Okay, there we go. There she is. Look how cute she is. She's so adorable. That's my girl, my kitty girl, not to be confused with granddaughter or daughter. That's my girl right there. Look at her. Isn't she pretty? The beard kind of kills it a little bit. All right, we got real shit to talk about tonight. I don't really have a theme for the evening. Normally I do. So we're just gonna jump around and we'll get to the pics of Elon and Vivek and Hegseth or Hedgeseth, however you say his name. Who else was named today? I forget. We'll get to those in a little while. I want to address something else first because it annoys me when people don't understand this stuff but talk about it anyway. And in this case, we're talking about missing votes. Dun dun dun. Because, yeah, dogs have owners, cats have servants. I mean, that's not wrong. My life is controlled at this moment by a 12-pound cat. So huge, massive discrepancies in total reported votes in Arizona counties. Nearly 200,000 missing votes. Read the thread. They are listed by county. Maricopa is off the charts. This is the kind of stuff that needs audited and every single last discrepancy accounted for. Dun, 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 dun. All right. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of how these things work. It looks bad if you don't understand what's going on. So we're going to just use the thread she pointed to. I've identified a total of minus 182,247 lost votes simply by taking a screenshot spread out over a few days. Cannot even imagine what the true totals are in Arizona. Using NBC News election reporting, let's go alphabetically in order with Apache County first. But wait, we're not going all the way through Maricopa. We don't need to go that far to prove our point. But wait till you get to Maricopa. They, throughout this thread, is whoever you think is manipulating votes. Thursday at 7:26 p.m. shows Apache County has 24,667 votes, and there are 66.9% counted. 24,667 divided by 66.9 means there should be close to 36,000 and some change total ballots in the election. I checked again at 10:03 p.m. and shocked face, the total votes counted remained the same, but the percentage of vote changed drastically to 47.7. Now, magically, there are only 33,000 votes to count. All right. So here it is. Here's his numbers. There's the 66.9% in, 24,667. Bloop. Come over here, same thing, but there's a 5% difference in this. All right. When you get these numbers, the 66 and the 74% here, it's not a real number. They don't know how many votes there actually are. They don't know that until all the counting is done. There's no way to know it until all the counting is done. So what they do is they make a guess and they say like, based on past participation, the number of new registered voters, the trend of how many new registered voters tend to vote, we think there's going to be 1 million votes in this state. And so as the totals come in, at 500,000 votes, there'll be like 50% of the vote is counted. But you have to remember that million is a guess. So if the total number of people who actually vote is only 750,000, then that 50% that we just talked about at 500,000 is actually closer to 6% of the vote. Thank you, Cryptic. Mickey stole the votes like stealing her precious. Nice. Thank you, Jariah. The missing 10 million votes from the 2020 election might have been COVID fear votes. The government media had us convinced we were all going to die. It's possible. I don't think we'll ever know. Certainly there's not going to be a real accounting of it. So at this point, it's all speculation. Frankly, I think something very fishy happened. It does not make sense to me that 10 million people were like, I'm going to vote because COVID. It just doesn't make any sense, really. But anyway, these projections, they're not real. There's nothing here except some guy going, oh my God, the numbers are different, and not understanding why they might be different. Does this mean nothing happened, that there's nothing to look at? Absolutely not. Of course, check. But what matters is the total number of votes that come in. That percentage they show you, it's a guess. It's just a guess. That's why it always stops. If you go look right now at any of the following the election, they all say 95% reporting in. They don't say 100% because they don't know yet until the total votes are all accounted for. Darth Mondo, thank you so very much. Holy shit, I've been following your old butt for a year. Also, the missing votes are the dead people who rolled over and refused to vote. Thank you for becoming a member for month number 12, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so I just wanted to point that out. I want you guys to be smarter than the people on Twitter, which, by the way, very low fucking bar for most of them. Not everything is a conspiracy. Not everything is somebody cheating the system. A lot of times it's just you're not using the real thing, or you just don't understand what's going on. So the protest no vote movement was insane and stupid. You want to talk about insane and stupid? My state is, I live in Michigan, is moving to join the popular vote movement. That's where no matter who wins your state, you give the electoral votes to whoever wins the national popular vote, effectively making California and New York the de facto rulers of America. And if my state does actually pass that, you're going to see me get very involved in state politics, because I don't understand how people are like, we should give up our power. How fucking retarded do you need to be? Just because right now you can't figure out why the electoral college exists or why it might be a good thing doesn't mean it's not a good thing. Just saying. After this election, they're actually working on it right now, Faithless. They're working on it right now. And it's asinine because, yeah, Colorado, there's 19 states signed on to this. It's not effective for any of the states until their total electoral votes gets up to 270. The rules they made for themselves. And if it was in place right now, Colorado would have went red this year because they actually voted and approved this in their state. They should show they truly mean it and give those votes to Trump, but they won't because they're a bunch of bitches. They'd give their votes to Trump. You have to understand, though, Faithless, the Republicans have had a really hard time winning the popular vote lately. Democrats are convinced. Bullshit that can't be constitutional. Actually, it is, because they get to decide how to do their voting. I think it should be challenged on constitutional grounds and that the court should step in. But on just a base reading level, I mean, technically they get to decide that stuff. They could come in and say that, look, that's not how historically it's been done, or something like that, like they did with the gun laws. But at this point, we're allowing it because it hasn't become too big of an issue. Like I said, it won't become effective until the group of states who decides this reaches 270, which would be enough to win any election. And right now they're at 195 with their electoral numbers. All right, let's move along. What else do I got? I want to talk about dummies on Twitter today, because I talk so many dumbasses. The Krasensteins were like trying to piss me off today, I swear. But I had two pleasant interactions that I wanted to highlight. I like the shitty ones. Thank you, Cryptic. Colorado is California's sloppy seconds, bitch. Yeah, they are. They really are. We want to suck like they do. All right. The first one was a guy who said something incredibly stupid in response to me. And I replied to him with, my typical manner. And he just flat out admits, I was trying to troll you because I saw your screen name and wanted to make you rant. And that made me laugh out loud. Not just an LOL on the screen. I literally laughed out loud. I have a little respect for that. For somebody who tries trolling you and then just like, yeah, I was just fucking with you. I respected that. We had a nice little exchange. And then over the Nick Fuentes stuff, had a great conversation with Kaylee Bear and our own Darth Mando. And it was a respectful conversation, even though there was some disagreement in there. I mean, at one point I was basically scolding even, and I wasn't trying to be scolding because I don't think that works with a lot of people. But it was still it was a respectful conversation on Twitter. And like, man, that doesn't happen much. Oh, fuck. Anyway, update, Fuentes still a Fed. Yeah, we'll get to him in a little bit. We got the video from the incident yesterday where he beat up an old lady. And yeah, Nick, unless there's something seriously missing from that video, Nick's going to jail. Nick, you can't beat up old women who show up at your house, even if they shouldn't be showing up at your house. You need something a little more substantive. All right, so let's move along. All right, well, let's start with what's his name again? Shit, I just said it a minute ago. The guy nominated for defense. Pete Hegseth. I'm not sure how you say it. Is it a hard G? Hegseth. He's a Fox News anchor, or was, and he got tapped by Donald Trump to be the defense secretary, and already the news is freaking out and weirdos on Twitter freaking out. And somebody said, I think it was Nuance Bro, says he can't even get passed by the Senate, even with the Republicans in charge. And I'm like, well, what did he do? Why not? And I went and looked him up, and even Wikipedia, which, if you want to know bad shit about Republicans, that's where you go, because they will make shit up and put it on Wikipedia. They will take off truthful shit to put on lies about Republicans on. I've seen them do it. I'm not just making that up. So that's a good place to go and start looking for dirt. And I go over there, and like one of the worst things that they say he did was he advocated for Trump to pardon some of the people down at Gitmo. I'm like, sure. I mean, I don't think that's disqualifying. I really don't know. And then I saw, I have to show you these. This is going around Twitter. This is Pete's tattoo. There's Walt. Oh my goodness. He's got, that looks Nazi-ish. He's got white skin and big fancy lettering on him. It's a Christian phrase. It's a Christian phrase. It's from the Crusades, and he has this on his chest. Oh my goodness, he's got the four crosses on his chest. He's got the Jerusalem cross, which is also a Christian symbol from the Crusades. Yeah, you caught him. The Christian guy has Christian symbology. That's the word I'm trying to say. Christian symbology on him. Fucker. Now, granted, if you were a Muslim, I could see you being a little bit worried about this. Being this comes from the Crusades. But otherwise, I mean, it's not like he's got an iron cross on his fucking shoulder. It's these people, they overreact to fucking everything. Everything. Desvault means God wills it. Clearly a Nazi phrase. Yeah. Hitler was known for his love of God. Fuck. And I didn't know what it meant. I looked it up because I didn't know. I've heard it before, but I've never looked it up. I'm like, oh God, is this some neo-Nazi shit? And I'm like, oh, fuck you. Just fuck you. Can y'all get mad about something real? You were putting up people, Democrats, putting up judges who were letting child predators go and expressing dismay for the person who raped a child. Maybe the guy having a tattoo to express his faith isn't so bad. Maybe comparatively. Michael, thank you. I'm tired of pretending the Crusades were bad. Communism has unavailed more than whoops, fuck. It just propped on me. Sorry. Has unalived communism has unalived more than every holy war ever. True. Thank you, Eric. I'm not thrilled about Trump's picks so far, but I find it funny how the left is calling the picks war hawks when they just spent months cheering for Cheney and demanding she get a cabinet position. Not just Cheney, but they were ecstatic about getting Dick Cheney's endorsement. And like, sure. I'm not real happy with the Nome decision. I don't know if she can even do the job. That is a big job. She's Homeland Security Secretary. I don't know. But the one I am excited about. Oh, Donald Trump. Donald, you did me a solid, man. So it's been a while since I've even seen Vivek's name. And for whatever reason, tonight he made some post and I saw it and I was like, what is Vivek doing in the cabinet? I wanted him to be chief of staff. That didn't happen. Donald picked a woman. Look, if you want somebody to run your house, might as well get a woman to do it. But I was a little disappointed because I think he'd be good at that. And so I asked him, like, what's he going to be? And it was 8 minutes later. 8 minutes later that it comes across the screen. We're going to put this up here. I'll read it to you because it's really fucking small and I wasn't smart enough to blow it up for this. I'm pleased to announce that the great Elon Musk, working in conjunction with the American patriot Vivek Ramaswamy, will lead the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, which fucking kudos for them playing into the meme. Together, these two wonderful Americans will pave the way for my administration to dismantle government bureaucracy, slash excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies essential to the Save America movement. This will send shockwaves through the system and anyone involved in government waste, which is a lot of people, stated Mr. Musk. Don't get moist, monkey. It's too late. It's too late. Not only did he bring in Vivek to help cut waste, he brought in Elon for it. Put those two guys together. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Totally what fascists do. Depower the government. I know, right? The sneaky little reverse psychology bastards. I'm going to celebrate just a little bit before we get real about what this is going to mean. But Monkey's way past moist. He needs another candle. You're not wrong, Brand. I appreciate the attempt. I want to say that because I really do think Vivek and Elon want to do a good job. I think they want to get in there, clean up waste, get rid of redundancies, fire people that should be fired, and make the government more efficient. And frankly, this is some shit. If you go all the way back to 1992, when Bill Clinton is running, one of the talking points of that election, largely because of Ross Perot's involvement in it, was running the government like a business. There was a talking point that the government, if any business ran the way our government does, they'd be out of business. And even Bill Clinton, he used to give these town halls and these is it really a town hall if it's outside? Anyway, he'd have these big gatherings of people to ask him questions in the town hall-esque setting. And one of his talking points was, we need to run the government more like a business. And then we never did it. We never did it. So I really like that we have business people getting in there and going, you know what? We really need to fix this shit because it's unsustainable. It's absolutely unsustainable. We cannot keep going in the debt that we are in. Eventually, it will catch up to us. It doesn't matter how much money you make if you keep overspending. Eventually, it will catch up. So I appreciate the attempt, and I really do hope they make a difference. I hope they go in there and cut a bunch of wasteful spending. But here's the problem. Even if they do that, Congress has the power of the purse, specifically the House. And if this money isn't being spent on executive agencies, they will find somewhere else to spend it. They will gift it to states because these people are addicted to spending. And yes, even Republicans, especially Republicans. Check it out. Check the numbers. Usually Republicans spend more than Democrats do because they end up trying to compromise with the Democrats by just giving them whatever they want and spend so they can get a tiny little something in exchange. It's got to stop. So while we could cut a shit ton out of the federal government, and I hope they do, I hope the executive branch gets pared down at least by the 75% that Vivek used to talk about. The reality is Congress is just going to take that money and use it to try to get reelected with your tax dollars. It's a good start. It's a very good start, Remy. Very, very good start. And it's a move in the right direction. I just don't trust Congress. And your internet's favorite lunatic, I hate to correct you on this point. It's not just the rhinos. It's everybody. We even have a term for it. We call it pork. And that's been a term since long before I was born. Our Congress is like, I want to get reelected. I feel like we should have a gay super center, for crippled kids in my district. And so $1 million goes to that, to a place nobody's ever going to use. But boy, did it bring jobs. Boy, did it bring money to the area. So yeah, yes, clean up the federal government. Show that it can be done. That is a good start. But I just can't get too excited about it because I know how our government works. I don't want it to work that way. And I really do hope that by showing that it doesn't have to work that way, that maybe Congress gets their shit together. But there's too much incentive for them to spend your money. There just is. But go Vivek, man. Go Vivek. And him and Elon have been having a field day, especially Elon. Elon's having a blast over on Twitter right now. He's been going since that was released. All right, what else do we have? No, don't care about that. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but there's a little bit of a kerfuffle going on in the Senate. Democrats lost the Senate. The Republicans control it. And right now there's a fight over who's going to run it. whether it's Cornyn or Thune or Rick Scott of Florida. The Trumpian people want Rick Scott. And last I saw, there are 7 confirmed votes for him. Out of 53 people, 7 is not enough to get him elected. But the Republicans, especially the Trumpians, really want Rick Scott because he has basically said, I'll do whatever Trump wants. And that's not the right way to be either. He should be doing what he thinks is best for the state of Florida. He is a representative. He's the senator from Florida, one of the two. So if he thinks Trump's thing, I keep saying, hey, sorry about that. It's probably dipped a little bit there. He's like, hey, the people gave Trump a mandate. All right, but that's not how our system works. Okay, if you actually believe in it, fine. That's one thing. I'm just blindly going to do it. You're no better than the Democrats who do the same fucking thing. Now, granted, Cornyn and Thune, I am not a fan of. Cornyn being the heir apparent to McConnell, who also I'm not a fan of. That guy's a douchebag. But we can't give them a pass for not doing their job properly. If he honestly believes what Trump is pushing for, cool. That's awesome. But you can't know that because Trump hasn't laid out everything he's going to do. How are you just going to give him a blank check? Which leads me to another story that is going on in the House right now. The House is pushing through a bill that will give the Secretary of something, I'm guessing Treasury, the ability to just cut off funding to a group that has given money, that has supported terrorists within a 3-year time period. And on the surface, that sounds great. On the surface, hey, yeah, we shouldn't be giving money to these groups that give money to terrorists. However, the problem is when Democrats get back into power. We already saw what they will do with current laws under Obama. They were purposefully not processing the tax-exempt status for right-leaning 501s, and they're like, no, it was just one guy in Cincinnati. It's one of the biggest scandals that was never called a scandal. The press let them fucking get away with it. They were using the tax system to punish political opponents. Is anybody surprised they eventually went to lawfare? Who decides who the terrorists are? Well, there's the thing, ham and beans. Isn't the devil always in the detail? The secretary gets to decide that. The secretary, so whoever is the Secretary of Treasury at the time, I think it's Treasury. Don't quote me on that, but the bill itself just says secretary. I went and read the piece of shit. They get to decide. And it's within a 3-year time period. And then you have to go 3 years without apparently supporting these guys. And yeah. So all you're doing is giving them a loaded gun and waiting for them to pull the trigger when they're, it's Treasury monkey. Stop it. I said, don't quote me. You're giving them the gun they're going to use against you. You're loading it. You're cocking the hammer for them. It's insane. It is insane. Do not do this. They're putting it. Look, we know that some money has gone to some questionable places, and you know what you do? You target that directly. You do it on a 1-by-1 basis. It's not like there's that much of it, or if there is that much of it, we need to overhaul the system. Thank God we got the DOGE boys going. But what you can't do is just give a blanket thing like that much power to one person, because it will be abused. We've seen it before, and we will see it again. Cut the IRS. I am 100% in. You know what? Maybe it is the head of IRS. I really should read that again just to make sure. Speaking of our wasted money, this really pissed me off. There's lots of people out there sharing different ways that our government is wasting our money. And believe me, there is no fucking shortage of that. There is no fucking shortage of that. Tons and tons of people. Start with those 70,000 new hires. That already got done. That was already taken care of. That got cut in one of the bills. I forget which one it was. They'll sneak it back into another one, or they snuck it into another one, I'm sure. But the what was it, 86,000? Everybody talked about that. Never happened. All right. Senator Rand Paul aired his grievances with wasteful government spending in his 2023 Festivus report. Here's a look at the most egregious examples. Again, this is 2023, but this stuff hasn't stopped. The National Institute of Health spent $33.2 million to house and feed and look after monkeys in South Carolina, who were then sent on to labs for medical research. We spent $33 million. I'm not necessarily opposed to all of that, if I'm being honest, because we do still need to do medical research. But we've seen what the National Institute of Health thinks medical research is. It's strapping puppy dogs down and letting bugs eat their faces. That's not any kind of research we should be giving any kind of money to. $6 million for the U.S. Agency for International Development to promote tourism to Egypt. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. $6 million of your money, of my money, went to promote tourism to another country. How could we cut any government waste? $8,395 the Defense Department spent on a lobster tank. Well, you didn't expect General Milley to be eating ramen, did you? Defund sanctuary cities. I'm all for that shit. Absolutely. This is the one that really pissed me off. $477,121 by the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. That's Fauci's place. To study HIV in transgender monkeys. I want to say that again because I feel like it needs repeated. To study HIV in transgender monkeys. I'm not sure how they decided that the monkeys were transgender, but can somebody explain to me how HIV affects transgender people or monkeys different than it would, normal people? Like, if you're transgender and you get HIV, can you just be like, nah, that's not what it is, and it goes away? I mean, what the fuck? Transgender monkey HIV experiments. They gave these monkeys HIV. All right, sure, why not? Frosted, thank you. Got to admit, I was picturing a lobster army tank. That would actually be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool. They gave HIV to monkeys to study the effects of transgenderism. Obviously, that's the intent there. But how does HIV... It's not like HIV is like, oof, it's a transgender person. I need to morph a little bit and give them the right gender identity aids. It's fucking stupid. Diabolical. Yes, it's fucking, it is disgusting. They are abusing these animals. You ever seen people who die of AIDS? You ever see that shit? I'm sure they euthanize them before then. That's much better. To give them AIDS, HIV. Watch them for a little bit and then just kill them. To be humane. $200 million. Small Business Administration and COVID relief to major music acts and their touring companies, including Post Malone, Chris Brown, Steve I don't know how to say that, and Smashing Pumpkins. This part actually shocked me. I didn't realize the Smashing Pumpkins were still a thing. Remember when Peter used to try and stop shit like this instead of guilt tripping everyone on Twitter? No, because it's always been a joke. It's how PETA is one of the number one murderers of animals in the country. They always have been. They are not for the ethical treatment of animals. They're just not. They're bad people. They are a pseudo-religious cult that worships animals, and I'm pretty sure just wants to have sex with them. I think South Park got that right. Yeah, but I mean, this is what our government is spending money on. Total there is what? $239 million, $240 million. Just 3 or 4 programs, one of which is giving AIDS to monkeys. Sorry, it's 5 programs. I should learn to count. Yeah, why not? Why not? You know how I want my money. Next, can you give gonorrhea to wombats? Make it a little different. South Park on the monkey bingo. Yeah, they were on the money on that one. They really were. They usually are, or they used to be. What else we got going on today? I want to get to that one later. Oh, we got to talk about Kyle Kulinski because this guy's a fucking retard. And I like retards. I am convinced that liberals are just like, we need to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that we are dumb, that we are incredibly fucking dumb. We'll get to it in just a second. If there's any liberals in the audience, I don't mean you. Travis Gardner, thank you. If they get a 50% reduction in the effective workforce, it would be a dream. 75 would be a goddamn miracle. It's what I'm hoping for. It was what Vivek was shooting for. Evolved Potato, thank you. This reminds me of a new Australian government agency, an anti-slavery agency. Slavery, something we never had in Australia. It's all just a way to, I'm guessing it's to give taxpayer money to friends of government officials. It says together, but I'm assuming that's a typo. You want to talk about giving money to government officials? More and more keeps coming out about how Kamala spent her money. Did you see the Oprah thing? It was reported that Oprah got $1 million from the Kamala campaign, and she said, I did not. But her company did get 2 $500,000 payments. Monk, did you link Monk, did you think the Mendez stuff? I'm not sure what you're asking there. There's money laundering going on there. Oh my God. So it came out that Kamala spent $5 million for what basically was one song from Megan Thee Stallion. And I couldn't help myself. I'm just like, those are donations. That wasn't your money. That was for you to go out there and actually campaign. And you paid Megan Thee Stallion $5 million of other people's money. Could you be on the nose more? Could you possibly be like, I am a government person and I'm here to help you anymore? I heard Beyonce got 11 million and she spoke for 30 seconds. I wouldn't be shocked by that. She's worth a lot more than Megan Thee Stallion is. Still want to know why a woman is called Stallion. Does she got a dick? I mean, I'm not judging her if she does, but it's kind of what's implied by calling her a stallion, right? The Menendez brothers is right, man. If you're talking about them getting their new hearing or whatever it was, no, those are 2 murderous shitbags who should stay in prison for the rest of their lives. Jack, my friend, welcome.
Hello. I heard we're gonna make fun of retarded people.
Kyle Kulinski. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on. Are you really? No, I was gonna say, are you really quiet or do I have my volume down? I had my volume down.
Huh? What?
Get off my lawn. All right.
I say that now. It's such a great feeling. That's the best part of getting old. It's telling people to get the fuck off your lawn.
There's nobody that goes on my lawn, and my neighbors have kids, and if they went on my lawn, I wouldn't care.
No, but it's the principle of the matter. You can say it if you choose to.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to start saying it to my wife. See how she likes it.
She's going to look at you and be like, whatever, do what I want.
All right, this is from a couple of days ago, but it didn't come across my desk till today. But it's so stupid, I have to make fun of it. This is regarding somebody pointing out that all of these idiots who are saying, we need a Joe Rogan on our side, are missing the point that he was. He was on their side. The only thing that he differed with them on is that he still believed in free speech, which, granted, for them is a deal breaker, and eventually it'll lead to where we are now.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the policies and stuff, he was on their side. And somebody pointed this out, and this is what old Kyle Kulinski had to say. I've been on Rogan's podcast 4 or 5 times. Yeah, I've seen you on there. You're an insufferable prick.
Yeah, he is an insufferable prick.
He would always agree with my left-wing and even anti-Trump arguments. But let's not infantilize him. He's a grown-ass man, and he eventually cocooned himself in a right-wing misinformation bubble surrounded by right-leaning, edgy comedians and even flat-out Republican propagandists like Ben Shapiro.
That's what happened.
He's responsible for his own radicalization. All that's left to do now is correct the tsunami of bullshit that emanates from his show on a weekly basis. Well, let's deal with the tsunami of bullshit that was in that, 10 lines of text. Because there's a lot of it in there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Toasted, thanks so much. Thoughts on macing people that go on your lawn? Not in the Fuentes sense. No, can't do that.
No, you're not allowed, but you can say, get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. Let's talk about what happened with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was part of what they were calling the intellectual dark web for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, that was insufferable too.
And literally all it meant was a group of people who don't agree politically, but who did agree that free speech should be a thing. Shocker, a comedian thinks free speech should be a thing. Somebody call Lenny Bruce. Ground is being broken here.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's insane talk.
For fuck's sake, man. And from there, he's still a Bernie bro. He proudly supported Bernie. He's pro-choice. You name leftist policies, and yes, he was all on board.
Mm-hmm.
But because he believed in free speech, he became a target. Do you remember what they did to him when he gets that big deal on Spotify?
Oh, they had a conniption fit about that.
He had to remove some of his podcasts that he had done. And they watched his every word, just waiting for him to slip up.
Yeah.
Again, I just want to remind you, because he believes in free speech. And from there, we get into COVID, Jack.
Yeah.
Do you remember what happened when he said that he took ivermectin?
I remember people flipping out.
The entirety of the media loses its fucking mind, including people like Kyle Kulinski here, and called it horse dewormer.
Yes.
They had that fucking retard from CNN come on Joe Rogan's show, and he's like, why did you let them lie about this? And he's like, well, I didn't really see it. I was with my girlfriend in Canada at the time. And what's up, Satsu? How you doing, my friend?
Hey, Satsu.
And from there, they just kept beating him down and stay away from him. This motherfucker said Joe Rogan cocooned himself. He invited Kamala on his show. It's another one of these cases, Jack, where liberals have self-exiled. They did this on Twitter. and a whole bunch of them leave. And the few who remain are like, how come there's no liberals around? It's unfriendly to liberals here. No.
You should change everything for our needs.
Yeah, your pussy ass friends just left because I'm allowed to call you a cunt again. Whoops, it's not 2 hours in. Shit. Oh well.
Monkey.
How dare you be able to call me a cunt? Well, stop being a cunt. You can block people. No, but they all lost their shit because Elon, another person who was on their side, bought the app with the promise of, wait for it, free speech.
Yeah.
Noticing a pattern here?
They don't like free speech?
They really hate free speech.
Oh, yeah.
Partially because they don't understand it.
Well, also because they're communists, and communists inherently don't want to listen to outside perspectives.
Oh,
It
sure.
might change theirs or invalidate their stupid nonsense.
Joe Rogan will talk to almost anybody. If he thinks he can make an entertaining enough show out of it, he will have them on. He has tons of lefties on that show.
Oh, yeah.
Including having Kyle on there by Kyle's own take. How do you not know if it was 4 or 5 times? It's not like you did it so much like me and Jack can't name how many shows we've been on.
No, it's... First of all, don't care. Second of all, it's been so many.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go count that. What a waste of time.
I am above knowing how many times I went on the biggest podcast in the world. That's how big I am.
Yeah. Ugh, smug. The smugness of these people is so gross.
Have you ever watched Kyle?
Yeah, he's insufferable.
Smug is an understatement for that prick.
Yeah, I don't know how people watch that.
Now we got to talk about another smug prick. Because that's apparently... I told you guys I didn't have a theme tonight, but maybe I do. So David Pakman the other day.
Oh, for Christ's sake. What are we hitting, the trifecta of arrogance here?
We are going with the retard trifecta, yes. Although, oh, you know what? There was an argument between Tate and Hassan.
Knew we were going to hit the trifecta.
It was a clash of the Tardians.
Nice.
And so we do have another one, but I don't know if I have that video where I can get to it real fast. Oh, I do. It's right there. I'm just scrolling past it. But before we get there, I want to talk about David because, God, this guy's a dumbass. So he makes a video the other day telling everybody, hey, I woke up today and I'd lost 5,000 subscribers. He's got 2.6 million subscribers, Jack.
And bitch about a rounding error.
He was like, oh my God, I lost 5,000 subscribers.
Seriously, he probably does that in a day normally.
Johnny Hellcat, thank you. Went on Rogan and was intimidated since he got called out for lying about Rogan. Then goes back to CNN and acted like he was the big dog on campus. Yeah, the medical expert from over there at CNN, who oddly enough doesn't know as much as the high school dropout sitting in his basement.
Oh, he knows.
Weird.
Just the problem with a lot of these lefties is that they think they could get away with lying, and whenever they actually get caught and called out, they're like, "Oh no, I was misunderstood." See,
well, for reasons that I can't explain, YouTube decided I needed to see this video. I need to move our portraits for a second here so the full thing can be on the screen so y'all don't think Monkey's making shit up.
Why does he look like a Muppet in that picture?
He's desperately trying to grow facial hair to take away from his weird head shape.
He does have a super weird head shape. I think part of it's his hairdo, but I can't tell.
A lot of it is his hairdo, but it's also his eyes. His eyes look bored.
Yeah.
Like even his eyes are like, fuck, just shut up, dude. You're bored. Donald, thank you so much. Hey, Monk, I'm sorry, but my wife keeps asking if your wife touched your behind. Hopefully this will go through. Thank you so much. No, she actually did not. She it is a real thing. I do not like having my butt touched at all. And occasionally she will think it's funny, but she hasn't done that in a long, long time. Michelle Kincaid, that doesn't mean she won't threaten me with it, Jack. She's a terrorist.
Well, it keeps you in line.
My wife is a butt terrorist.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack in that sentence. I don't even know where to begin with. My wife's a butt terrorist.
Michelle Kincaid, thank you so much. Kyle can't go one episode without making a cock reference. It's like he's obsessed with it. I have no doubt Kyle's obsessed with cock. All right, so this is how David Pakman titled his video, Jack. Bloodthirsty pro-Trump influencers plan to destroy me and progressive media.
They're doing just fine on their own. They don't really need help, do they?
Well, I watched the video, Jack. Is like, oh, I feel like I must have missed something.
Yeah, was there a meeting that we didn't get invited to?
No, he actually plays clips of this supposed, plan to destroy him.
Okay.
And it's just people laughing at him whining about losing subs. There's no plans.
They're just laughing at him?
They're just laughing at him.
Because he's not entertaining and people are abandoning him?
They plan to destroy me.
God, he is such a woman. Oh, it's all a plot to destroy me. Oh, shut up, you baby.
Pakman said Stalin was right-wing, dudes irrelevant. 2.6 million subscribers. That's not irrelevant. It's a lot of fucking retarded people. I'll give you that.
But we all know there's a lot of retarded people out there.
That is so fucking stupid, man. And I don't know if I even want to watch it, but I will put it on the screen just to prove it did happen. The Clash of the Tardians.
They want to destroy me.
You got Andrew Tate and Hassan Piker. I'm not going to leave this on the screen very long because I don't want anybody's IQ to drop.
Yeah. What gets me, though, is that Andrew Tate is definitely smarter than Hassan Piker.
How do they both look like bitches?
Well, it's because I think they're both secretly into trans people, but Hassan always looks like a bitch. I don't care how buff that dude is. He acts like such a bitch. And at least, say what you will about Tate, I think he's a little bit smarter than Hassan Piker.
I don't think he is. I think they're equally retarded.
See, I think we're gonna have to disagree on that one. I'm not saying a lot smarter. I'm not saying he's gonna go out and.
Andrew Tate said that in order to be heterosexual, you have to bang pretty trannies and stay away from ugly chicks.
Yeah, I didn't say he was smart. I'm just saying he's smarter than Hassan. Which, it's a low bar. It's
Piper's...
sort of like being able to walk and chew gum. You're still a drooling retard, but at least you can do one simple act.
Hassan isn't acting like a bitch. Neither is Andrew Tate. They both just are.
Well, the upside is that one of them's going to go to jail. The downside is the other one is not.
Well, Hassan said he's leaving the country. He's going to go make Japan a worse place.
Why? Japan has way more restrictive free speech laws than we do here.
Yeah, but he can dress up like a girl and nobody will notice.
Oh, I think they'll notice if the giant Turkish hairy man starts running around dressed like a woman.
And for the record, I'm not suggesting he's trans. I just think he likes to dress like a woman.
Oh yeah, no, he's not committed enough to be trans. He's just a weirdo. But yeah, Eagle brought up the karate video where he was doing the kicks.
Oh God, that was so sad.
That was one of the funniest things. You made my entire week when you showed me that video.
It looked like he was auditioning for the Rockettes.
Yeah, it was. I didn't realize he was trying to do martial arts. It's like, what is this? You know.
Michelle Kincaid says, even Juanita Broderick mocked David Pakman. Yeah, he showed her tweet in his video, and he's like, even the chick who doesn't like Clinton was hitting at me.
The chick that was raped by Clinton, you mean?
Yeah, but we don't mention that part.
Yeah, because Clinton's a fucking saint to these clowns.
Instead, we go with E. Jean Carroll's fan fiction so we can call Trump a rapist.
Yeah, that's somebody that was an actual victim of a predator. No, we can't talk about that now because he's the first black president or some bullshit. But Juanita Broderick is at least funny. So if she made fun of Pakman, it was probably pretty funny.
I mean, it was just her laughing. I mean, everybody was just laughing at him.
Yeah, because he's a fucking whiny little shit.
And people were pointing.
You're trying to stop me. No, they're not. Shut up, you baby.
People were pointing out that they're losing subscribers because their messaging is bad.
Their messaging is bad, and they're a bunch of Messiah complex crybabies.
Yep. Chris Wallace has left CNN, Jack.
I saw that. That's funny. Probably he saw the writing on the wall and knew he was about to be fired like a bunch of other people.
He's going into the podcasting business. He's going to be competing with us now, Jack. Chris, when people can turn on legacy media and see the same fucking opinions from the mouth of at least a semi-attractive woman rather than an old man who should probably retire, chances are they're not going to tune in for you. You sold out your soul, dude, for Biden. I hope you fail miserably. To the point where you're so ashamed you never go in public again.
Yeah, his reputation is pretty well scarred, but he'll get some semblance of an audience, mostly with old people, and that'll be enough to sustain him in his golden years, I'm sure.
I don't think he will. I don't think old people are turning into podcasts.
It's a very limited audience.
I missed it. Which stupid Chris? Shit.
Chris Wallace.
Wallace, thank you. For some reason, all that could come to mind was Cuomo. Yeah, Chris Wallace. I think he might get a little bit of an audience at first, but he's not an interesting guy. And he's shown that he's a fucking liar repeatedly.
He doesn't have... he has a Charlie Rose voice. If you're not of that generation where being boring was being serious, then you're not going to draw an audience. He is not exciting. He does not have anything interesting or new to say. So the audience is going to be incredibly limited. If you're not entertaining or at least interesting, you're not going to make it in podcasting. It's just the way it is.
You can either get your news from Chris Wallace or the exact same thing said by 100 different chicks wearing really low-cut cleavage shirts on Twitch.
Yeah.
Which one are you going to watch?
Yeah, and he's not offering anything different other than he looks stuffy and he's boring because he's legacy media. And they all look like Charlie Rose. Look at everybody of that generation. Their entire concept of relaying the news is to be monotone and uninteresting.
It's not even just that part of it. I mean, because there's Tim Pool has a fucking audience. So monotone and boring as shit isn't exclusionary. Yeah. But he's old and he's been caught repeatedly lying and literally decided to debate for Biden in 2020.
Yep. Yeah, and he doesn't believe he's partisan. That's the funny part.
Thank you so much, Bullwinkle. I am old, 68. My subs are Monkey, AP, Rogan, Crowder, and Babylon B. Not a bad roundup in there.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realize you were that old, Bullwinkle.
Neither did I.
You act much younger.
All right, I'm not going to read this whole post, but it's time to get into this one because we got to talk, y'all. Some of y'all are making the same mistake that was made in 2016. And this time, Clifton Duncan is the one who's pointing it out, and I'm a little ashamed of myself that I didn't get to it first. But he says people claiming woke is dead are naive. Entertainment is still controlled by bourgeois leftists who hate free speech and who hate you. They're still shutting down dissent. They're still blacklisting wrong thinkers. There's still a religiously Marxist monoculture culture. The election has inspired zero introspection among them. And that's about where I want to leave it. I'll leave it on the screen if you guys want to read the rest of it. But after the 2016 election, there were a whole bunch of people, Jack, who used to make all kinds of videos against what would now be called woke, but at the time was called SJW shit.
Yeah.
And you have all of these people just declare, it's over, it's been won, yay, let's become leftists ourselves. And it never went anywhere. It got louder, it got bigger. And in 2020, we ended up with a man in a dress working at the nuclear agency and stealing luggage.
That's never going to be unfunny, by the way.
I told people then that the left was still winning. And they're still winning now.
Yes.
Yes, Donald Trump got the popular vote. He got the House, the Senate, and it has been officially called the House is Republican controlled, and the presidency. And it doesn't mean shit. Because anything Trump does, the next Democrat can undo. So, for the next 4 years, we are going to have the screeching turned up to 11. I was naive enough to think that back then, not this time. And yeah, experience is a cruel mistress, man. They're going to go on the offense, and they have all of the media. There's X there, Jack, but they're doing their damnedest to minimize that.
Yeah. But they go after advertisers. They try and punish them financially.
Yep. We got what? X, Rumble, a handful of other ones.
Yeah, maybe BitChute.
The overwhelming majority of them are still run by lefty shitbags, including the people we're on right now on half of the show. The entirety of academia is leftist. They're literal indoctrination centers. In order to get a degree in accounting or to become a doctor or anything, to get a degree, you have to go through studies programs where they will teach you how bad you are for being white or male or a black male if it's a black female studies course. Just leftist indoctrination bullshit. We have word of mouth, which is stronger than anything. You would think so, but do you realize how easy it is to whip up a mob? Any idea how easy it is to start a movement? All you need is the right spark. And it doesn't even take much to spark it half the time. I mean, look at the George Floyd thing. We got 5 months worth of riots, cities burning down because a fucking fentanyl freak died. And what? It means the police hate all black people. I mean, the guy who faked that exact same situation once before, literally the exact same situation, Jack.
Yeah.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. But this time, no, it was the cops that killed him. So you need to burn down Portland because of a cop in Minnesota. I said to somebody on Twitter, I think it was Joy of Sorrows, he said, we shouldn't really have to worry about legacy media, should we? They're dying off. Not exactly. Not exactly. They've lost a lot of power, Jack.
Yeah, but they still have some influence.
How many stories are covered, whether it's on this show or any other, alternative media, that is still based on what the mainstream media is saying?
Mm-hmm.
They still control the narrative. They might not have total control of it anymore, but they still control it. They still decide what we're talking about. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to what's coming in the next 4 years because we saw how bad they were after 2016, and they're going to amp that up. everybody who has any disagreement at all, you're going to be the most racist, Nazi-ish, anti-Jewish, but still somehow anti-Palestinian. You will be every Istanphobe, and you probably killed people and ate their bodies. It's going to be bad. And the media is going to be there repeating all of it.
They still have a lot of money and a lot of resources, and they're now the resistance because they see themselves as the alternative all the time. They are always the ones fighting. They're the underdogs. So they have to fight the evil empire, and that gives them motivation.
The most important part of Duncan's statement there is the election inspired zero introspection. They've done no self-reflecting. They've done a lot of finger pointing and blaming.
Yeah, but you're still the righteous ones. They're still holding on to that pseudo-religious communist belief that they are the good guys. It's not that they lost. It's that the election was rigged or stolen, or that there's just more evil, stupid Republicans than they thought. Yep. They are never going to self-reflect. These people do not do that.
Editor, thank you. Just got my front rim motor for my 21-speed mountain bike. Converting it to a commuter, my EEG went well, then hit me with a strobe light. It's all done with a computer, no paper reel. What's the strobe light for? Were they trying to induce a seizure?
Apparently.
Bullwinkle, thank you. That narrative has lost the hold it had, but results will make it look silly. I don't think you guys understand what these guys are what's coming. They feel like they are the good guys, Jack, and everybody else is just. I mean, there was that one guy on CNN the other day where somebody's explaining what they think happened in the election, and he's just like, "No, it's racism," and the guy's like, "No, actually," and no, it's racism. And it was allowed to go on. You had the one guy. I finally saw the transcript people were talking about. I forget the girl's name. She's been popping up in my feed a lot. She was the one that it was her show where the guy got kicked off for making the pager joke.
Yeah, I don't remember her name.
There's a black man sitting there talking about what he thinks happened, and he says, when you're letting boys play in girls' sports, and this white dude at the end of the table starts losing his shit about how he will not sit there and listen to this bigotry, anti-trans shit.
They called it a slur.
Yes. To call somebody a boy, a biological male, a boy, is a slur. Yeah, Abby Phillips, I think that's her name. And the host is like, around here, okay, I understand your perspective, and I know you're a good person. But around here, we're not gonna call them a boy. That would be bad.
Meanwhile, that guy is still losing his goddamn mind.
Yeah.
No, that's the problem with cults. And it's the problem with any kind of brainwashing. You end up in a very cloistered environment, and as long as that environment exists, it will continue to brainwash. So they will continue to believe this nonsense until the absolute last minute. And sometimes even then. Look at Heaven's Gate. Those people had every chance to leave the compound. They didn't because they were so afraid the comment was coming. They were diehard true believers, and they literally were found with their Nikes on in a purple blankie in the compound, all dead from the same crap.
Rodline says, but we have to go through this. There is no other way. I'm not telling you guys that it's inevitable. I'm telling you, you guys are making it inevitable by thinking it's over.
Yeah, don't ever underestimate your opponent.
It's not over. And they are still winning. You want me to prove that they're still winning? How many podcasts or people that you follow on social media censor themselves heavily, even when they don't have to? How many times has a discussion come up about, say, racism in America? And I've done it myself, Jack. And somebody has to go, of course, there's still some racism in America. We have to say that every fucking time. Why?
So we don't lose our platform because these people that run things are psychotic.
Because if you don't, they're like, oh, so you don't think there's any racism? You're clearly a racist.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just easier to coddle these little shitbags than to say the truth. Compared to even 4 decades ago, racism is all but gone, or was until they started making it, part of the school curriculum. But I know there's still so much racism. It's institutionalized. No, you need to be institutionalized.
Yeah, which is one of the reasons I hope Trump does shut down the Department of Education. It would be a big win for us to put that kind of blow into the widespread commie nonsense.
FL, thank you. The amount of crying over the new border guy is amazing. He's such a no-nonsense guy. None of their emotional blackmail works on him. Yeah, and we need more people like him. We need people to stop being pussies when it comes to most of this shit. I feel horrible for people who actually have gender dysphoria, Jack.
Oh, absolutely. That's god awful, but most of the people that we see do not have it.
Some fucking fat guy in a dress. You know what? I'll even bring up an example. I know right where to find one. Bullwinkle, thank you. It will be it'll be out of our military. So good. I don't think it'll be out of our military. Because you can remove the actual like indoctrinating words and shit that's in there. What you can't do is just get rid of all of the NCOs and officers who've been out there being like, how dare you not respect a man in a dress? Those people are still going to be there, and they'll just lie in wait until they can be their little shitty selves again.
Yep, they'll be quietly pushing this stuff from the shadows. And that's even more insidious and dangerous. You need to shine a light on what these people are doing. Real quick, thank you, Evolved Potato. They think they're doing things for the greater good. Anything is justifiable in the name of the greater good. They can murder 99% of the people on the planet and still come out thinking they're the good guys. It's just cult behavior. Absolutely. That's absolutely right. These people can justify anything, no matter how evil or horrific, as long as it is for the betterment of society.
Backscan said, just got back to Monkey knowing where to find a man in a dress. I only knew this because I knew I saw this from Foo today, even though I'd seen it somewhere else. But this is what I'm talking about. Gender dysphoria, horrible, and I hope those people get the help they need, not the bullshit affirmation that they need, the actual help they need. This fat motherfucker on the screen here, this is not a transgender person. They do not have gender dysphoria. This is a guy who wants to dress like a woman and pretend he is one because he has a fucking fetish.
Probably touch little kids too.
Hey, my fellow ladies out there. So men think they own you. Take it from somebody that used to be a man.
Nobody used to be a man. Unless they're dead, Jack. And then I guess you could technically say they used to be a man because they're dead now. But
yeah,
no living person used to be a man.
You got boobs. You got a vajayjay. Guess
who needed to hear this guy say those words? You're welcome.
What, honey? You own them. Trust me, they want it. Make them earn it.
Like putting a ring on it or paying mules to your dad? How do you want them to own it?
Ladies, if you go to this guy's house, make sure you bring your own liquids. Because you're going to wake up with a bleeding butthole. I'm just telling you. Clearly not speaking from experience. No, he is. I mean, we've also seen it with like the little fat, ugly feminists who are making themselves even uglier. These are women who are like, you guys won't let us have abortions. We're not going to have sex anymore. Okay. Thanks, I guess. I mean, you're so close. You're so fucking close to having a smart thought.
Joke's on you. They're faking. They're very far away from a smart thought.
If I can't have an abortion, I just won't have sex. Yes. Yes. Why did it take Trump winning a second term for that to get through your thick fucking skull?
Because that's how these people, they stumble on the correct idea, but for the wrong reasons, and they learn nothing from it. It's really kind of terrifying in a way.
But you know what? The media is out there shouting all about this 4B movement, which, by the way, is fucking retarded. I just won't have sex. Nobody cares. You're not punishing me by not having sex with me because I'm married.
They're not punishing most of the rest of us either because they're filthy hoes most of the time, or they're fucking male feminists.
Yeah. You're that fat guy we just saw. I'm a woman. No, you're not. Fuck off. When so far left have to act conservative to own the chuds? Yeah, basically. Editor, thank you. Legally, I can't drive until I'm seizure-free for 6 months here in South Carolina. So I'm doing e-bike conversion, still have my 2.3 93 Ranger. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, my one girlfriend in high school, after we broke up, Jack, she used to suffer seizures, and she'd have the grand mal seizures.
Yeah.
First time I saw one of those, I was like, what the fuck is happening? I knew she had epilepsy, so but I'd never seen one happen live.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
I was 15, and I like, okay. But she lied about having seizures because she was supposed to go. I want to say hers was a year. But she lied about it and got her driver's license and promptly drove through a plate glass window while having a seizure. Whoopsie. Luckily, nobody was. Yeah, editor, I hope it works out for you, man. I hope they got your meds to where it's under control. I'm assuming they're using meds. What else did I want to talk about tonight? I got distracted by the fat, ugly guy. In a dress.
Judged. Oh, that one. Okay.
In a dress. I need to be careful. Shit. I'm sure there was more things I was wanting to talk about. Nope. Did that one. That's more of that stuff. Oh, I didn't put this up here, but I really do hope they make this the actual emblem for the DOGE department. Department of Government Efficiency. It's even got the little Doge dog. It kind of looks like the Shnooba from the stickers.
Yeah, it's supposed to, because that's a Shiba Inu on the Dogecoin.
That does not look anything like the sticker. The actual dog. I'm just saying.
I agree, but it's from a specific dog.
I think you guys are wrong about it being a Shininudubu. I'm just saying. I
don't think you know what dogs are.
I know what dogs are. What else? This was just funny. A little levity in our show tonight. This is funny as shit. It's an old battleship from way back in the day. And it has the thing, fun for the whole family. And it's
accurate.
Got the dad and son playing Battleship while mom and daughter are washing dishes. And they are happy as fuck about washing them dishes. See, bitches just need to clean dishes. It makes them feel good.
Well, they know they're going to do it right, and the men will fuck it up. So the guys could go play a war game and leave them alone.
Any guy with a wife has had his wife come behind him and restack a dishwasher. I didn't even know there was a proper way to stack a dishwasher till I got married.
I mean, it's just some control mechanism they do.
I still have that box in my house 20 years. I fucking love it. It's great. That's sexist. Oh, fuck off. Have a sense of humor. It's not like we do that anymore. These days, it would be the dad washing the dishes and the little boy would be cleaning the floor with his tongue. And
Yeah, the kid would be licking the windows, and the women would be playing all smartly, and the guys would be breaking shit, and something would be on fire in the background.
I was going to go with mom's black boyfriend is helping her play.
Oh yeah.
And daughter's illegal is helping her play, and they're all winning somehow.
Yeah, and they have septum rings.
Yeah.
It's a battleship. It's get along ship. So they're making friends.
By the way, I want to point out, I've seen a ton of people lately bringing up the septum ring thing. And I'm not giving us full credit for that, Jack, but whatever little part we helped in making that a thing, I am proud of. Because
should be.
Let's see, I saw Sugar Tits do it the other day. Somebody on Twitter was doing it, and then some new chick that I found the other day, she was like, "Why do they always have septum rings?" Like, yeah, and not just that, the facial piercings. There is a uniform for these retards. And look, if you have a septum ring and you're not a retard, you're wearing a retard's uniform. All right. I can't be. No, Eagle, not just the bull ring. They have a lot of them now. They have the ones that like stick straight out. I don't know how they breathe around the thing.
They look like they collect boogers with it.
Yeah. It's really fucking annoying. Well, it's not my face. Oh, for some reason, people are shooting at planes in Haiti. I don't know why, but it's a story, so I thought I'd bring it up. And I found out about this watching the White House press briefing today, Jack.
Oh, really? This happened a few days ago.
Well, I didn't see it when it happened, but
yeah. And ironically, it was a Spirit airline plane that made the news, but they've shot at other ones too. Let's shoot at the city bus version. Good job, dummies.
The press was asking about it, and she's like, I don't know. I don't know. But the big questions in there is it came out that Trump and Biden will be meeting, well, today now. They're going to have a meeting, and Corinne would not talk about what was in it. No.
It's a secret.
And Peter Ducey asked, did Biden invite Kamala to go to the meeting? And her answer was so funny because she doesn't answer the question. Instead of saying no, instead of saying no, he didn't invite her, she goes, this is a thing that always happens. It happens every time. And they're going to sit down and they're going to have a conversation like always happens. And I think what's really important is that we show the American people how you do a peaceful transfer of power, like always happens, always, except for that one time, that fucking dick. I mean, she flat refused to answer several questions. In one instance, she actually used the Kamala line, "I'm not going to get into hypotheticals."
Yeah.
It was really like watching a Kamala thing because she wouldn't answer anything. And yeah, so I don't think anything is going to really happen tomorrow. Trump might bring, if I'm Trump, I bring Biden a signed hat. I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh, hell yeah.
Be like, I know you got one of them, but here's one signed. There's not really anything to talk about. This is one of the questions that really fucking blew my mind. Somebody asked her, are you concerned that Donald Trump is talking to other leaders, world leaders right now? And she goes, that's what happens all the time. Every president-elect has conversations with leaders. Like, that's not the, you were asked if you're concerned about it. Jesus fucking Christ. The absolute best part, though, was when she was asked, is Biden going to push any policies in his last 2.5 months? And she was like, I don't really have anything on that. I don't think there's going to be any policies there. We're going to work hard for the American people. And I was like, wait, how?
Yeah, vague platitudes, because what she's going to be doing is working on her resume.
Yeah. It was just funny. If you get a chance to watch it, just tune into any random part of it and watch her not answer questions. It was quite hilarious. Don't care about. Where's that one from Ed Krasenstein, that piece of shit? So Donald Trump names, what's his name? Sedge, what the fuck is his name? Secretary of Defense guy. Shit, we were just talking about him. But anyway, are you still there, Jack?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of his name. Got me.
Pete. Yeah, but what's his last name?
Hegseth?
Hegseth, thank you.
Yeah.
I can't find the tweet, so I'll just tell you about it. Brian said, or Ed says, Donald Trump just named Pete Hegseth the Secretary of Defense. Can you imagine what would happen if Biden would have appointed Rachel Maddow the Secretary of Defense?
Except that Pete Hegseth has actual national security experience.
Yep, he's a decorated military man. He's got a Bronze Star.
Yeah,
this is a guy who voluntarily went to Afghanistan. He enlisted so he could go. He was National Guard.
Yeah, it's not like you're just getting some random chode off the street.
And you're comparing that to an angry lesbian.
I mean, that's a tactic, I guess, but it doesn't seem like a smart one.
I was just like, how can you even compare those two things? Other than being a fucking retard.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a Krasenstein, so.
Mad Cow wasn't in the military, Brian. It was Ed, but yeah. Propaganda's unreal. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, and it's going to come fast and furious, man. When we do get to the time where it's all right, these guys have to be nominated officially and the Senate has to confirm them, which will start pretty much at the end of January. You are going to see the media lose their shit over every little thing. Remember what happened with Kavanaugh?
Yeah.
That's going to be nothing by comparison. Like, it's going to make it look like they gave him a handy under the table. Just mashing it.
She's just mashing it. Yeah, that's what she does.
That's what she does. Oh, God. What else do we have going on here today? I mean, I kind of want to talk about this story. There was a new thing, a new survey that came out, Jack.
Oh, yeah.
And do I have the full survey here? I think I do. Oh, God, no. I don't have the full one anymore. Shit, I lost it somewhere. Anyway, it's about how the election went, Jack.
Uh-oh.
And Brian Stelter shared this one.
Oh, there we go. There's the secret suffering that I'm going to experience.
At Harvard Shorenstein Center, Director Nancy Gibb told me, quote, "We now read 10,000 postmortems about the rise of non-corporate, decentralized, individualized media." I think of it as MYDIA. They love changing letters.
Yeah, he does.
But media, by definition, is a filter. It mediates. And for many voters, especially young ones, it was too mediated. Meaning that information about Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, and other candidates trickled down from primary sources to podcasters to parents and friends. Gibbs says the report shows that, quote, higher income and higher educated voters still relied on media news, but younger, less engaged, less educated were getting their information from each other. Not from podcasts or anything. No. They just got together and were like, I think Kamala's a hoe. And the other one was like, she probably is. She probably sucked off somebody named Willie Brown. And that's how the whole Brown thing got started. She didn't actually do it, Jack.
Oh, of course not. No, it's just lies and misinformation.
Thank you, Bullwinkle. Timmy, Minnesota National Guard. Pete, also Minnesota National Guard. Oh, I didn't realize. I'm assuming not in the same unit though, because
No.
Pete was infantry and shitbag was grenade or mortars.
Yeah,
Michelle, thank you. Those two animals that killed Jocelyn Nungary in Houston in June weren't even out looking for a victim. They came across her by chance and just decided to rape and kill her like it was second nature. Securing the border is more important than abortions. True.
Yeah.
And the Democrats, a couple of them have actually caught on. Wait, maybe abortion wasn't the best idea to run on. Let's see what we see here, Jack. The more time you spend in liberal indoctrination centers, the more likely you are to get your news from the mainstream media. You think that's a coincidence?
It's a mystery for the ages.
Really is.
No, brainwashing does seem to have an effect. So,
yeah, they don't say anything about the accuracy of any of this stuff. It's just smarter, richer people get their news from CNN. Yeah, that's it. I am less educated formally, Jack, than most of the people I run into. And I will put my knowledge against theirs any day of the week. Because most of them, all they did was write down the answers they knew the professors wanted and then immediately forgot what they were told.
Yeah, because they teach you limited memorization. They don't actually teach you learning.
Yeah.
They don't teach you how to learn anymore.
Yeah, they are literally just this thing here. It's just friends talking to friends. That's all it is in it now. But it's communists talking to communists.
Yeah.
Or prospective communist. A lawyer mediates, a journalist doesn't. I know. I didn't write it ham and beans. It was somebody that Brian Stelter really likes because she was patting him on the back for being a real journalist.
He's so smart.
You're one of the smart ones.
You're one of the good ones, Brian, because you're a genius.
I really like your candy van.
It's very white and panely.
I hate these fucking people. All right, I've put it off long enough. It's time to talk about Nick Fuentes. We got the video. We got the full video today. And, okay, maybe not the full video. Because in all fairness, it does start as she's reaching for the doorbell. Which I don't believe that she just started recording at that point. We do know that she says that her phone got broken, so maybe they lost some stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
But even with that, I have trouble trying to think of anything that justifies what Nick does here. Short of her, actually threatening him through the door. I'm going to kick your little bitch ass.
Well, he was so appalled by a vagina being near him, he just blacked out into a blind vagophobia rage.
This woman is 5'1". She's either in her late 50s or early 60s. I don't remember which.
Yeah, she looks super old.
She's a tiny little pain in the ass. She should not have been at his house, and she did spread his docs after and apparently beforehand too. Yeah. But there's nothing to suggest that Nick knew that at the time of this incident. Let's just watch. Let's go to the videotape. Now, this is her. Nick is going to come from. Is my pointer on screen? Good. Okay.
Ew.
He's going to come from right over here, and this is going to go very, very quickly.
Hi. Oh my God! What are you doing? Get the fuck out of here!
Here's where he's committing a felony by stealing a phone.
Now we know what his foyer looks like.
It is dark as shit in his place, man.
It's all the better to use the luminol to find the cummies.
Right? All right, so I paused that at almost a perfect spot. He opens the door, and in his hand is pepper spray, and he immediately pepper sprays this lady.
Look, I wish we were at the point in society where I could pepper spray anybody I wanted to, but it's a terrible idea in practice to do that. Don't just spray everybody that knocks on your door. That's not okay.
Conversation came up, and I'm going to give you my opinion on this. That if he was fearful, then it's kind of understandable. To which I say bullshit. Because if he was fearful, he never opens that door.
Yeah.
There's a 5'1" lady, old lady, standing outside. He opened that door because he was pissed. And I understand him being pissed, Jack. Some stranger
Sure.
shows up. He's just been doxxed. And yeah, it sucks. But you don't open that door and pepper spray somebody because you're afraid. You do that because you want to punish them. And you want to show what a big man you are. Just like mommy told you you are.
He's so manly.
He's so manly.
My God, look at him. He's the epitome of manliness.
Does that face say fear to you?
Mm-hmm.
That's anger on his face.
Yeah, he looks mad. Look, there's a vagina at his house. That makes him look bad. Word will get out.
No, the vagina being there won't make him looking bad. Beating up the little old woman will.
No, that makes him look bad to the rest of us, but the people on the forums that he visits.
Oh, God, the people defending him. She deserved it. She doxed him. He was defending himself. This is not self-defense in any stretch of that word.
No.
Or that phrase, I guess. There is no. I said he was expecting a cowboy and found a girl instead, which does explain his anger, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. You know, like,
But
hey,
this is indefensible. Editor, thank you. Haha, I have 2 nipple rings and have to get a routine MRI. You should probably take those out before you get the MRI.
Otherwise, you're going to have very sore areas where your nipples used to be.
Yep. There's going to be 2 rings and your nipples hanging from them in the MRI machine.
Yeah, it's going to be an owie unlike other owies.
Maniac Man says, just don't open the door and go watch some TV. Yeah. And if you really are afraid, call the police.
Yeah.
That's what she did after you assaulted her. Well, actually, somebody else called for her.
Well, still, he should have called the police to begin with.
Yes.
If you don't want these people on your porch, because they're on the curtilage, they're not allowed to be there if you don't want them there. You could tell them to fuck off through the window, or could just call the police and be like, look, there's trespassers on my property. I'm concerned that they may be a threat to my safety. Could you come remove them?
This little prick just finally found somebody he could beat up. Oh, a 60-year-old tiny woman? I can take her. Granted, he's not much taller than that himself. What is he, like 5 foot nothing?
He's really short.
Yeah, he's a tiny guy. But yeah, this was just him. He was punishing her.
And I don't.
He assaulted her.
Yeah, I don't like defending Nick Fuentes, but if he was in any way innocent here, I would defend him. But he's a perpetrator here. He made the mistake of opening the door.
I want to be very clear. I'm not defending her at all either.
Oh no, this is stupid. Don't do this shit. Don't go to people's houses. That's how you get shot, whether it's right or wrong. Somebody will shoot your ass. And we saw Candace Owens talking about that.
Yeah.
And people will listen to that and be like, oh, I'll just shoot them. No, you're going to go to prison and then you're going to have a very sore butthole. So don't do that. Just call the police and let them deal with it. That's why you pay tax dollars.
Your place, it would be different. Quit being such cucks. I feel like you should probably go back and re-listen. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Kyle says both sides are stupid and wrong. I agree, but one also has criminal attached to it. What she did was stupid and wrong. What he did was stupid and criminal. You cannot just assault somebody like that.
Well, what he did was confirm that it's his house.
Mm-hmm. True.
This is why I keep the curtains closed most of the time. I don't want people visiting me or seeing where I live.
Nick Fuentes is like that yapping chihuahua that you want to meet, but you know it's wrong. Yeah, yeah. Look, I would love to slap the shit out of this kid. He's a vile, disgusting, racist piece of shit, and there's nothing about him I like. But I can't just do it. I would need a very good reason to, or I go to jail for it.
Yeah, unfortunately, the law is set up against people protecting their own property or themselves. And unless you want to go to jail, you have to play within those bounds. If he were to answer the door armed, I would understand that. Having the pepper spray or the firearm, fine. But you don't get to just blast people for no reason, because then you're going to jail and she's going to sue him and get money. And I don't want to give up my money or my freedom. She
barely got the word hi out. And he's already blasting her in the face.
Yeah.
There's no indication he knew this woman.
No. Unfortunately, the law is set up against people protecting their own property. And they will throw the book at you for it, too. So, he should have no trespassing signs up, too, to help, like no solicitation, no trespassing.
Just and she says his cause. She says there were no solicitation signs, or she would have obeyed them. Although I'm not sure I believe her.
I don't believe that at all. But at least then he would have a little bit more on his side. You have to be very careful how you handle situations like this.
Even with the no solicitation sign, you can't just open the door and assault people. Hey, Sean, how you doing? Not a simp for Nick. I wouldn't open the door. I got surveillance cameras. I'd imagine he does too. But she was apparently the second person to show up that day. Who knows if the first one was more aggressive? Then again, you call the police. You keep that door closed. You do not just assault people who ring your doorbell.
Yeah, look, I'm sorry to tell you guys that Nick's in the wrong on this one, and it sucks that you can't just do whatever you want on your own property, honestly. But you can't just attack people.
You can't. I can't do this to a Jehovah's Witness. You can't just do. No, you can't. You cannot. You have to be. There has to be some kind of threat to you.
Yeah, you have to have a reason. And if you don't have a reason, you're the one in trouble every time. And now she's probably going to sue him over this.
Sure.
And she'll get some money.
She's already pressing charges. The cop apparently asked her why, and she's like, assault. Yeah, it's actually assault and battery because he pushed her as well.
And he stole her phone. She could probably try and get him on theft too.
Yep. And that's all.
Definitely don't steal people's phones, guys.
And that's all in the police report as well as on camera.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nick's fucked.
He'll probably get a slap on the hand for this, but it depends on how many connections he still has in the feds.
Yeah, I mean, there's that, but yeah. Anyway, fully know he's in the wrong. I just wonder what she did that pushed him to that, if anything's beside being there. Look, we've seen Nick attack people before. One guy was just like making fun of him, and he fucking attacked him.
Yeah, I think Nick has some kind of anger management issue.
Sean said, I really don't want to side with a doxer even against Nick, but I think his state is hard. No, we don't have to side with her to point out what he did was illegal. That's not taking her side. It's just being honest.
Yeah, you don't have to like anybody in this scenario because she's a bad person. Don't go to people's houses, you fucking weirdo.
I want to be crystal clear on this. Fuck her. Because not only did she go to his house, but she spreads his docs. It gets taken off of Facebook. Then this happens. And she writes this long ass post where she puts his address in it like 4 times. She's a horrible fucking person. But you can't just beat somebody's ass for that. You can't. Anyway. So look, I get why people are like, she shouldn't have been there. And she is a dumbass feminist, so that's already 2 strikes. But you can't just beat up old ladies because they ring your doorbell. You just can't. Approach my door with ill intentions, you got it coming. I would be very careful with that and probably check the laws in your state, because if you act on that, you're going to go to jail.
Yeah, you have to be able to prove that they had ill intentions. That's why surveillance cameras are your friend.
Wait.
What?
Red Feather says Nick is a voluntary celibate that still lives with his mother. He is not voluntarily celibate. He's gay and refuses to admit it.
Yeah, I do find this funny though. Yeah, I have to agree, Eagle. Because Nick acting like a man and actually macing somebody, I never thought he had the balls to do that, quite frankly.
To act like a man, he had to beat up a little old woman.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm a man, mommy.
I'm a man. I'm a big man.
No, he's not big in any regard. He's a tiny little.
He's such a douchebag.
Do you think he's a Monchichi?
I think he's. I don't know if we can say that. We're going to be called racist
Against Monchichis?
Yeah,
it means happiness.
Isn't that what Roseanne Barr got in trouble for calling the one chick?
Oh, I don't know.
Now I'm second guessing myself.
That was a cartoon in the 80s with the little.
I know what a Munchichi is. I had a Munchichi.
Oh, that's weird.
What? They were cute.
Were they in your hair?
No. Acting like a man and pepper spraying a woman. I think that's contradictory. Yeah.
I agree, but we're talking about what Nick perceives as being a man. He also hunted for cum.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's a skewed perspective.
He's just a really dumbass guy.
And I like laughing at that retard. So
if you take the advice of Candace Owens in this, you're going to go to prison too. It is not standing your ground to open your door and spray somebody with pepper spray and then beat them up. Okay, that's going to wrap up tonight, Jack. I am exhausted. I got to get my sleeping schedule is more normalized than it's ever been, but I'm more tired than I've been in a long time because I'm not getting my naps in.
Oh,
yeah, it sucks. I'm an old man. I need a nap.
Well, you're a sleepy monkey.
I want all those naps I refused to take when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah, I hear that.
I want my naps back.
I demand nap time.
Yes. God damn it. Yeah, but right before the show, I went into my yawning fit. You know how I get.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't stop. I wasn't even sure I could do the show. But yeah, so Monk, I can hear the bags under your eyes.
Ew.
Don't forget to log into Phasmo to get your shit. Oh, I saw you say that's right. They got to the 100%. So yeah, I'll go over there and log in before I go to bed. I hate that they made it a community event. I have been playing Planet Coaster. I played again today over on Twitch. I'll eventually get the stuff uploaded on YouTube channel, but you should come hang out. I have a lot of fun with those because you kind of in that game, Jack, have to help the story along because there's only so much you can do. A computer's not real good at judging aesthetics, and a lot of times aesthetics is part of what you're supposed to do. Like the other day, I had to build pools with a certain amount of appeal. And I literally just started building anything I could think of inside the pool, including a dressing room. And the game was like, yes, this is pretty.
Huh.
Yeah. So you kind of have to suspend disbelief, and I have trouble doing that.
Apparently.
And I just start singing for no good reason. So come check that out. That's on twitch.tv/rantingmonkey. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are so kind. Jack, anything you want to show?
Nope. Haven't done anything at all. Haven't gotten anything done. Probably not going to for a few days either. But thank you so much for the donations. You guys are awesome. And we appreciate everything you do for us.
Yeah, I got none to add tonight, guys. We're just gonna wrap this one up, mostly because I'm falling asleep at the desk here. Thanks for coming and hanging out, Jack. A pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Everybody, take care of yourselves. We love you. Stuff and things, and may your genitals be blessed. May you never get a hemorrhoid, and may your mother love you like she actually cares. I don't know. Have a good night. We'll see y'all later.
Bye, everybody.
And after all that, I have to make up a song. Dear Christ, what's wrong with me?